Hello everybody, it's Mr Veale here. I'm the head teacher of Atwood Primary Academy, which is situated in Sanderstead in South Croydon, and today is Friday the 19th of June 2020. Where is time going? We are halfway through 2020, and what a year it has been. I bet if everybody way back on the 1st of January thought that we would be in lockdown, partial lockdown, schools closing, just a wholesale upheaval in everybody's lives. They probably thought we'd be talking complete nonsense, but that's how life goes, isn't it? But we're trying our very hardest to make the very best of what is, of course, a very unusual circumstance situation. It's been a funny old week for us at Atwood. Many of you know I'm a bit of a bore, bit of a geek. I do like to talk about the weather. I always have done. I don't know why, but I suppose it affects everything that we do, really, and certainly in school where we've been wanting the children to get out and about, learn beyond the classroom, the weather is a factor. And you'll see why I'm talking about that a bit later, because earlier in the week we had a bit of a cookout, we did some sport outside, we've done some learning beyond the classroom, and it was all okay until the heavens opened. And if you stay towards the end of the video, you'll see what I mean. So coming up. Now, in the background, you know I am not in my official Atwood office. I am in my official shed, which doubles up as my home office, or should I say my home office doubles up as my shed. So forgive me, but it's right at the end of my garden, and I know because we're still homeschooling my children at home, and they can be a little bit noisy, and coming down to the end of the garden pretty much guarantees a bit of peace and quiet. Now, what's happening in this show? Well, I do want to talk to mums and dads about some changes of plans for the rest of the summer term. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that as of Monday we will have 4 more full weeks left of term, and school will be breaking up on Friday the 17th of July, and then we've got a couple of staff development days on Monday the 20th of July and Tuesday the 21st of July. So just wanted to give you some broad perspective on that, but I wanted to talk to you about widening out our offer of places for Atwood. So this is going to be very, very important. Now, the plan is from Monday the 29th of June, which is a week on Monday, to open out up to 3 more bubbles of children. So you will know that the maximum number of children in each bubble is 15, and so the plan is to have 3 more bubbles of children from the 29th of June. And I just want you to know that these places are kind of co-selected between families and the school, and just watch out for any communication that the school gives you, whether your child may be eligible for this slight extension. So that's the first thing. Now, we have been really thinking and racking our brains about provision at school, so senior leadership team working a lot on this. Now, we know that the government guidance is still to remain open and offering places for nursery reception years 1 and year 6, but we're also very much aware that a lot of the children have been at home for a long time now. They've been doing really well on their Google Classrooms, but nonetheless, we and other schools have been thinking about widening provision. Now, sadly, we cannot just say, look, everybody come back, because we've still got to follow government guidance. We've got to take into consideration our risk assessment. We've got to take into consideration things like our social distancing and so on. Now, we're really appealing to you as a parental body, and I'm particularly talking to my wonderful Year 6 parents. We feel that it would be right and proper for the following to happen. So, as of Monday, the 6th of July, there won't be, so repeat, there won't be Year 6 coming in for the last full 2 weeks of the summer term. However, now this is very important, in order to say goodbye to them properly and appropriately, because we know it's the end of their school life at Atwood and we do want to mark this occasion, we will invite all of Year 6 back on Monday the 20th of July for a range of different activities where we will say goodbye. So they will be the only children in smaller bubbles, but all of Year 6 coming in on the Monday the 20th of July so that we can say goodbye to them properly. So that's really, really important for me to say. Now, the reason we're asking for Year 6 not to come in for the last 2 weeks of the summer term is we would like to invite Year 5, so the current Year 5, to have some time in school. And that's very, very important because obviously they're going to be our new Year 6 going forward. So they will be receiving letters, we'll be putting them into bubbles and so on. So that's going to be a change. Now, I know some of you will be thinking, well, hold on a minute, what about my child who is in Year 2, Year 3, Year 4? Sadly, we can't invite those children back at the moment. We're just simply not allowed to do that. But there is some wriggle room if we ask that Year 6 don't come in for the last couple of weeks to invite Year 5 in. There is never any good solution to any of this, but we have always tried to remain fair, impartial, and really hopefully meet the needs of the community. So we just really wanted your support on that matter. So we're going to get on with the rest of the show, and let's see what happened in the week. Hello, back again. So earlier in the week we held a virtual staff meeting and we did that via Microsoft Teams, which is our go-to program for collaboration. And actually that's one thing that has been a real blessing that has come out of the lockdown situation. In terms of myself and my staff's ICT abilities, we've really improved. And actually, when I think back originally to how we were on things like Zoom or MS Teams virtual meetings, we were complete amateurs, but we're getting a little bit better. And one of the things that we very much discussed on Wednesday were with the smaller bubbles of children coming back, what aspects of the curriculum that we're offering the children have been very enjoyable, and what can we do in terms of our own skills as teachers to kind of impart knowledge and interests and passions to the children that we can kind of practice with a smaller group, and then how can we take some of those ideas that we've learned in this situation and broaden it out for the benefit of all children when they come back. Now, a lot of you will know that we have absolutely amazing grounds, and sometimes it's really tempting just to forget that as a wonderful resource for what I call learning beyond the classroom. We also know that our youngest children have very much enjoyed forest schools as part of their curriculum, but one of the key things that came out was very much trying to get our children learning outside and learning a range of team building activities, learning about nature in our grounds, learning about, here we go again, the weather, learning all sorts of things about maybe some basic first aid skills outside, making dens and shelters and so on. And it's something that I'm really interested in. Some of you may know, I don't know, but I do enjoy camping out, and I enjoy all of those kind of activities because I just think they're so good. They're not new as an idea, getting children to learn outside. Certainly not a new kind of philosophy. It's been going back a long time, and I've been doing some research actually. This is an absolutely wonderful book, and I'm not sure that the title gives it kind of the credence of what's in here, but it's called The Art of Camping. But inside it very much talks about some of the youth movements of the post-industrial age, the Edwardian kind of setup from Baden-Powell and scouting, and the importance of getting young children out into nature and getting them fit, and then doing lots of hopefully exciting activities. But then it also drifts down to some other movements such as the Kibbo Kift, the woodcraft folk and so on. But if you read this book, it just basically hangs on to some very basic principles that children learn an awful lot when they get outside. They get beyond that desk, and actually they're faced with having to learn in the environment, and probably take them out of their comfort zone. We know that perhaps we're a bit worried about how much screen time the children watch, how much television they watch. These preoccupations have been going back over 100 years. People have been worried about what children are or not learning, and they've always led towards learning beyond the classroom as a concept. So this is definitely going to be one of the things that I want to concentrate on at Atwood. And you will know that I'm doing a number of different projects to help this come about. So obviously one of them is the rewilding of the orchard area. We've put the fence round, we're letting the grass grow, and that will take, well, probably a number of years actually. We definitely want some more diversity of species in there in terms of the grassland area and so on. And then in turn, that will of course encourage a wider range of insects and so on. Within there, I'm very much hoping after lockdown that we are able to get a small nature pond in there. But I also want to start, got some exciting news for you, because next week we will be putting up a lovely bell tent in the orchard so that we have got an outside classroom. That's going to be really good. I've always wanted to have some sort of outdoor classroom, and we've managed to save some money so we can get that. And then finally, another little project that's all interlinked is that I want to have a gate between Atwood's land and Riddlesdown Common, because Whitgift Foundation own Riddlesdown Common, and I'm in negotiations to see if we can get a shared access, because I want to take away some of the barriers that teachers have about going down the drive and going into Tandridge Gate, and I just want to make it a lot easier for our children to go into the woodland, of course supervised, so that they can learn beyond the classroom. So there's some really exciting things that I love to kind of push on at Atwood, hopefully benefiting not only all of our wonderful children, but also our wonderful staff as well. Now we've pretty much come to the end of this episode. It's been very enjoyable making it, and it's only a little snapshot of what we got up to in the week, but it was very memorable. It's been a bit of an outdoor theme, this one, hasn't it? We've cooked outside and then the heavens opened and we had to rush indoors, and then it's very surprising actually, but Mr Dench knows how to disappear when there's washing up to do. But I suppose that's only right and proper because he did all of the cooking. So here's to another fantastic week at Atwood, and join us next week where I'm pretty sure that once we've put up the bell tent, hopefully on Monday, we'll take some footage and I can show you what that's all about, our new project. So take care and stay safe, and I will catch you soon.